let's discuss like this therapeutic situation. It's really what it's offering these people who are suffering from depression and anxiety and those sorts of things. Catherine, you want to start?
Sure. My situation's a little different because I'm a licensed therapist, so I'm allowed to do the legally the work before and after. So I will, one of the things I offer the community is that I do a full assessment for people as a licensed therapist to see whether or not psychedelics are a good idea for a person, because they're not a good idea for everybody. Psychedelics are not for everybody. Some people are not stable enough, and it's going to potentially tip them over the edge. So I do offer, first of all, a psychological assessment screening to see if it's a person, if, in my professional opinion, is stable enough. And, I actually one time had to tell a young woman that I didn't think she was stable enough and I couldn't recommend it. And she was really mad. And she contacted me a year later and she says, I was so mad at you, but you were right. I waited and I can see now that I needed to wait. So, you can kind of risk telling people that this is not a good idea for them. But if you're familiar with the MAP studies, with the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, they've been doing research with psilocybin and MDMA for a number of years, clinical trials legally. And what they recommend is, what their studies are is a period of like 9 months of therapy, weekly therapy, and then interspersed with 3 MDMA sessions or 3 psilocybin sessions. So this is kind of a model. People often contact me for this type of model because that's what licensed therapy has been doing. So I can provide that licensed therapy, and then we'll figure out in the first session, what are you working on? Is it depression? Is it your life's not going well, no meaning in life, whatever, often trauma from childhood. And then those more intense sessions will kind of the medicine takes a role in and of itself of what it wants to do, is how we really see it. So we will work with the psychotherapy, with helping the person get stronger in their life, or root out some old issues, or view things differently, or whatever is called for. And then the sessions with the medicine the medicine takes the person deeper into where they want to go. So just recently working with someone who she contacted me because she didn't really have any experiences from childhood. And as we were talking, I was like, I can see why you would want to forget that. Really, maybe that's a blessing. And in the medicine experience, she was able to remember these things and see why she couldn't remember them, and freed up. And, I'm not saying, the problem with the Michael Pollan material is everyone's expecting now an instant cure. And almost all my conversations with new clients is it's not going to be an instant cure. But she was able to move so far in that 4 or 5 hour session of being able to recall these memories in a way that was useful to her and not frightening. So then we pick up again with the therapy. This is a 9-month process, and we continue to work together, and she'll go for another extreme session. And her boyfriend wants her cured in 9 months. I told her, that's kind of a weird goal, but you can make a lot of progress in that time. So.
Oh, yeah. And that integration is so important afterwards. And beautiful that there's like therapeutic space being held before and after,